The rain hammered against the hospital windows like bullets from heaven, each drop echoing the despair that had settled deep in Marcus Wellington's chest. For 3 months, he'd watched his 17-year-old daughter Emma waste away in that sterile room, her once bright eyes now vacant as Nebraska farmland in winter. The car accident had stolen more than Emma's ability to walk. It had ripped the soul right out of her. The girl who used to light up boardrooms with her infectious laugh, who'd planned to take over Wellington Industries someday, now stared at the ceiling like she was already 6 feet under. She won't even try the physical therapy anymore, Dr. Peterson had told Marcus that morning, his voice carrying the weight of defeat. Sometimes the mind gives up before the body does. Marcus loosened his tie, a gesture that would have shocked his shareholders. The man who'd built a Fortune 500 company from scratch, who could negotiate million-dollar deals without breaking a sweat, was completely powerless to help his own daughter. That's when he heard it. Down the hall, someone was singing, not the polished, professional kind of singing you'd hear on the radio, but the raw, honest type that comes from a place deeper than talent. It was Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire, sung with a gravelly voice that had seen some hard miles. Marcus followed the sound to the children's ward, where he found a man in paint-splattered jeans teaching a group of kids in wheelchairs how to play guitar. The guy couldn't have been more than 35, with calloused hands and laugh lines that suggested he'd learned to find joy in the small stuff. Now, little darlin', the man was saying to a girl who couldn't have been more than 8, music ain't about being perfect, it's about feeling something real and letting it out. The man looked up and caught Marcus watching. Help you with something, sir? I'm Marcus Wellington. My daughter Emma's down the hall. Marcus found himself talking to this stranger like they were old friends. She's given up. The man set down his guitar and extended a rough hand. Jake Sullivan. And giving up's just another word for needing a different kind of hope. Jake had a story, as most folks worth knowing do. He'd been a construction foreman until his wife died of cancer 2 years back, leaving him to raise his 7-year-old son, Tommy, alone. When Tommy was diagnosed with leukemia 6 months later, Jake sold everything he owned to pay for treatment and took a job as a hospital maintenance worker. To stay close, Tommy's in remission now, Jake explained as he walked Marcus back toward Emma's room. But being here taught me something. Sometimes when life knocks you flat on your back, you gotta learn to see the sky different. Emma was staring at the wall when they entered. Her long auburn hair spread across the pillow like spilled copper pennies. Emma, honey, this is Mr. Sullivan, Jake's. Fine, the man interrupted, pulling up a chair without invitation. And you must be the young lady who's got everyone worried sick. Emma's eyes flicked toward him. Annoyed, I didn't ask for visitors. Good thing I ain't visiting, Jake said, settling in like he planned to stay. I'm working. Maintenance, you know. Gotta check all these rooms for, Hope leaks. Despite herself, Emma's eyebrow twitched. Hope leaks, oh yeah, terrible problem in hospitals. Hope just seeps right out through the cracks if you're not careful. Looks like you've got a pretty bad one here. Jake pulled out a small harmonica and played a few notes. Lucky for you. I got just the thing to patch it up. Over the next few weeks, Jake became a fixture in Emma's room. He didn't push her to talk or try to cheer her up with false positivity. Instead, he told stories about growing up poor in West Virginia, about the time he accidentally painted his boss's car bright orange, about learning to braid Tommy's hair for school. Because YouTube tutorials don't lie, my daddy used to say. Jake told Emma one afternoon while teaching her basic harmonica techniques. That courage ain't about not being scared. It's about being scared and showing up anyway. Emma's fingers were still learning the instrument, but something in her eyes had shifted. Were you scared when your wife got sick? Terrified, Jake admitted. Scared when she died, too, and when Tommy got diagnosed. Shoot. I was so scared I threw up in the hospital parking garage. Twice. But you didn't give up. Oh. I wanted to, believe me. But then I realized something. Jake leaned forward, his voice gentle but firm. Giving up wouldn't honor what she gave me. Wouldn't help Tommy fight his fight. And it sure wouldn't make tomorrow any better. Emma was quiet for a long moment. I used to want to run my dad's company someday. What's stopping you? She gestured bitterly at her legs. Kind of hard to run anything when you can't even walk. Jake chuckled. Honey, I've met plenty of folks who could walk just fine, but couldn't run a lemonade stand. And I've seen people in wheelchairs run circles around everybody else. Your legs ain't your power, your mind is. The breakthrough came on a Thursday. Marcus arrived at the hospital to find Emma sitting up in bed, laptop open, furiously typing. What's all this? He asked. Research, Emma said, her voice stronger than it had been in months. Jake told me about this adaptive technology company. In California, they're developing exoskeletons for people with spinal injuries. And there's this woman doctor, Sarah Chen. She's paralyzed from the waist down and just climbed Mount Kilimanjaro using one. Marcus felt tears he'd been holding back for months finally break free. Emma, I want to try the physical therapy again, Dad. And I want to learn everything I can about adaptive tech. Maybe I can still run Wellington Industries someday. Just differently than I planned. Jake appeared in the doorway, guitar in hand. Heard there was some hope that needed patching up in here. Emma beamed, actually beamed for the first time since the accident. Jake, I've been thinking about what you said about showing up scared. Yeah, I'm ready to show up. 6 months later, Emma Wellington rolled across the stage at her high school graduation, valedictorian medal gleaming against her blue gown. In the audience, Marcus wiped his eyes while Jake whooped and hollered like he was at a rodeo. Emma had spent the spring semester developing a business plan for an adaptive technology division at Wellington Industries. She'd also started a non-profit with Jake, bringing music therapy to children's hospitals across the state. You know what the funny thing is? Emma told Jake at the graduation party later, I thought the accident was the end of my story. Turns out it was just the beginning of a better one. Jake raised his beer bottle in a toast. To new beginnings and old friends. To hope patches, Emma countered, laughing, to my daughter. Marcus added, his voice thick with pride. Who learned that? The strongest people aren't those who never fall down, they're the ones who get back up and help others do the same. As the sun set over the small Nebraska town, painting the sky in shades of hope and possibility, 3 unlikely friends sat together on the Wellington's back porch. Emma played harmonica while Jake strummed his guitar, and for the first time in a year, Marcus Wellington, CEO, millionaire, and most importantly, father, felt like the richest man in America. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness create the biggest miracles. Sometimes a single dad with paint under his fingernails and hope in his heart is exactly what a broken family needs to heal. And sometimes when life knocks you down, the best thing you can do is learn to see the sky from a whole new angle.